Colorado's E. coli outbreak tied to McDonald's is growing. Today we learned it is likely centered in Mesa County. Majority of the known cases are there, and the person who died lived on the western slope. This is likely to be a long and intense investigation, and the people running it are saying very little. There are 49 cases reported, 26 of them in Colorado. The next big thing is likely to be a long-term investigation. First, stop the spread of the illness, then confirm the source. Our Mark Salinger got insight from the people who ran a similar investigation here a decade ago.
McDonald's Quarter Pounders are at the center of an E. coli emergency. To know how health officials are racing to prevent others from getting sick, we talked to the people who stopped Colorado's deadliest outbreak.
The first thing we did was we started to interview the people who were sick.
Alicia Cronquist works for the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. She was the Foodborne Disease Program Manager in 2011 when Listeria began spreading through contaminated cantaloupe grown at a farm in southeastern Colorado.
We asked them a lot of questions about all the things we did, and then we tried to figure out what those people had in common.
Cronquist determined everyone who got sick in 2011 ate cantaloupe. The next step is figuring out where it came from.
They were doing what's called a trace back, where they're looking to see if the food that person A, person B, and person C ate, could they have all come from the same source?
That process with the current E. coli outbreak is ongoing now, though McDonald's seems to point to potentially contaminated sliced onions in their burgers. Health labs test to confirm if the produce is indeed contaminated. In 2011, investigators found a farm in Prowers County, Colorado, stopped washing cantaloupe before shipping them around the country.
And when they go around to the various cases, they're able, in essence, to start almost by a process of elimination to zero in pretty quickly.
John Walsh was the U.S. Attorney for the District of Colorado in 2011 during the Listeria outbreak. Now he's running unopposed as the Democratic nominee for Denver District Attorney. He chose to bring federal charges more than a decade ago against the farmers who grew the cantaloupe.
One of the key considerations was, okay, how did this happen, and what did the farm owners understand?
The farmers ended up getting probation after cooperating with Walsh's investigation. That whole process, from the outbreak's discovery to the end of the legal case, took nearly 3 years.
What stands out to me is we tend to take for granted how safe our food is. And yet, when one problem happens, it can hurt so many different people.
I asked Alicia Cronquist what stood out to her about this outbreak compared to the one that she led the investigation into 13 years ago. She said everything that they're doing right now is based on lessons learned from outbreaks like the Listeria outbreak from cantaloupe. The investigation today is benefiting from what was learned more than a decade ago when more than 30 people died and more than 110 got sick.
I can't be the only person who still handles cantaloupe differently as a result of that outbreak years ago. It is in my mind every time I buy it. It's also
hard to believe that that was more than a decade ago.
Right?
2011?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. When do you think we're going to know which McDonald's we're talking about?
So that's the biggest thing that we still don't know is, hey, if I ate at certain McDonald's, do I need to be worried? The Mesa County Health Department says that they have reached out to specific stores to contact them, but we don't know which those are or how vast that region is. Are there any in Denver? Are there any in Fort Collins, Boulder? We don't know that yet.
All right. As far as we know, centered on Mesa County. Mark Salinger, thank you.